Remembrance Sunday with Reverend Wing Commander Bissell, Station Chaplain at RAF Shawbury. Tell us about your career as a Padre in the RAF and how you were able to show God's love in action.
Thank you for inviting me to share on this very special occasion. I'm currently serving in my 29th year as an RAF chaplain. I've had the pleasure of serving on many stations throughout the UK and on operations abroad. As I reflect throughout my experiences, I've also been extremely fortunate to work with outstanding colleagues, which brings both diversity and richness to ministry. It's also been an immense privilege to provide pastoral and spiritual care to personnel and their families during this time. And as a Christian minister, perhaps the most meaningful way to offer God's love, in my experience, has been through what I would describe as a sacrament of presence. Having the opportunity to walk alongside others on their journey during those occasions of both highs and lows provide a chaplain with a unique awareness of the challenges others sometimes face. Regardless of rank, you're invited in to people's most innermost feelings.
What is the most challenging thing that you have faced as an RAF chaplain, and how did you find the strength to cope?
On one of my deployments, we tragically lost one of our personnel. The impact their death had amongst their colleagues and friends was enormously significant. The RAF community is close-knit. Their death was clearly felt by all. Pastorally and spiritually, it proved to be a hugely demanding period. The makeshift chapel that had been set up in one of the buildings was used frequently. It was an opportunity for personnel to pause and reflect during a very difficult period. For a chaplain, such experiences can also challenge your own faith and highlights the importance of your own spiritual resilience. In other words, ensuring that you keep close to God. Perhaps the most poignant moment came a while later during the repatriation ceremony, when those serving lined the route, stood in silence and paid their respects. It was both a moving and fitting occasion as they bid their farewells.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you?
Remembrance Sunday is about pausing and reflecting. For 2 minutes, the country will fall silent to pay their respects to the fallen, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the cause of peace and freedom. But it's also about remembering those who are still injured and suffering as a result of conflict.
How has your great uncle Bert, a renowned Methodist peace campaigner, influenced you?
There is no doubt he was a very remarkable man, and his influence remains very strong to this day. He was clearly inspired. He had the capacity to build bridges and break down barriers amongst individuals, communities, and most significantly, nations. The peace cairn at the summit of Ben Nevis is indicative of his work. It was also a great privilege, of course, to be part of his family. Tradition dictated each Sunday after the service, we would all be invited to his house for tea. Out came the cakes, the sandwiches, the chocolate biscuits, the sausage rolls and trifle. It was also an opportunity to discuss Saturday's football results, how our favourite team Coventry City had fared, but also to listen to his many words of wisdom. There was one thing, however, that stood out above everything else. He had an immense capacity to make you feel important. It is incumbent upon all of us to ensure that we give others that sense of value and worth. When we speak of peace, the essential starting point begins in our building relationships with others.
What will you be doing at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November?
We will hold a short service on station to allow the community to pay their own respects.
Thank you for sharing in our act of worship for Remembrance Sunday.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to join you.